Now, can I persuade you to join us for a drink?
All right, but nothing too strong.
Hello and welcome to 3.2 Company, a podcast about Star Wars, X-Wing, RPGs, nerd shit, board games, whatever the hell we're doing. It's about getting drunk here in Utah, drinking this 3.2 crap beer, and having fun with some friends. Hey everybody, I am Scott. I'm your host today. Today I'm drinking the Uinta Brewing Season Pass Vanilla Porter. It's really good and gets all over everything.
Yeah, right before we started, Scott spilled it all over me.
It was cool, so I'm on my second bottle.
But he missed the new laptop and sound thing, so...
The person who's so thrilled about that is Mike. Mike, what are you drinking today?
I am currently drinking the Uinta Yard Sale Winter Lager.
That one's pretty good.
It is good. And I did a little bit of a yard sale when I went snowboarding yesterday.
Nice.
Finally got that out of the way.
Also joining us today, Caleb.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Caleb. Apparently you're drinking a Dusseldorf?
Well, I'm not actually drinking it, but I am quite fascinated by the fact that beer cans have government warnings on them. I didn't know that until just now.
There's
What have
alcohol
you
in there.
done? Move on.
Okay.
Don't let him start.
Okay, he knows all about government warnings on food products. That's Eric!
You have to have consumer advisory if you're selling undercooked meat or fish product.
That's right. Of course, because obviously foodborne illness is a serious problem.
You were just muted for all of that. I'm drinking a yard sale, and I also take offense to you saying shitty beer in Utah. We have good beer here. It's just weak.
It's weak beer. It's not shitty beer.
They do a
I
good
need to
job
just-
with crappy regulations.
Mhm.
Regulation.
And he knows about regulations that are crap. It's Stu.
Hey, it's Stu. I'm also drinking a yard sale because it's tasty.
And because I have a fridge full of them.
That's true. There's also some other stuff in there. That new brewery amber ale looks pretty good.
Yeah.
God damn it!
So, Mike, because I'm sure you're sick of this crap. I know I am. Speaking of crap we're sick of, hey, regionals!
Guys, is it time for regionals?
It's time for
Is that-
regionals.
what the fuck are regionals?
What the hell are regionals? They're this close.
If you're listening to this right now, we've already played in regionals, right? Our local
Yeah,
regionals.
this will come out the day after we have played in our regional. So we're recording
yeah,
after
that's
the
right.
weekend where there were 4 big regionals, 2 outside the U.S. and then Glendale and Chicago. And the results are kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's actually a decent variety. There's a bunch of the same lists that you see over and over again, but still in top 4, there's a number of different lists.
Top 4, and if you expand out to the top 8, I feel like the lists in these top cuts are a lot more varied now than they were before the FAQ and before Wave 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever it was, came out.
The thing is you do keep seeing Miranda. Biggs is still in play. Wookiees.
I mean, yes, you see them, but it's not
They're
four Miranda Biggs in the top 4
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single Miranda in the Poland top 8.
Poland's weird.
Poland has elevated to the plane above Biggs
Yeah.
That makes
and
sense.
Miranda.
There's a bunch of Wookiees in Poland, though, right?
No, not in
No?
the top. Not in the top 8.
Wow. Did I not look at
There's
it
a
right?
Dash Po, Sajnim.
Were you looking at Swiss rank?
Might have been.
Well, let's just take a look at the top 4 of the regional that happened over in Poland.
Okay.
The final game was played
Oh,
between
maybe I am looking at
Dash
Swiss rank.
Miranda and a Rebel Finrao, Lowrick, and Nora.
Huh.
And the winner was Dash Miranda.
Okay. I mean, Dash Miranda's still really solid.
Yeah, I mean,
Because multiple 5-dice harpoon missiles.
Yes.
A lot of people are doing it.
Is it a heavy laser cannon dash?
yeah, it is.
So it's a 5 dice and a 4 dice attack, kind of multiple turns in a row. That's hard to deal with.
And Miranda's a little tanky. It's she has Bomblet, but not Sabine. It's C-3PO, so Bomblet's just there in
Okay,
case.
so she's actually it's a tankier Miranda. I'm guessing it's Lone Wolf countermeasures dash.
It is Lone Wolf countermeasures Ray. Dash.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's also pretty tanky. That's a really survivable list.
Yep.
Man, both of those sound horrible to try and kill. They just take forever.
Yeah, that's.
Well, you try to take advantage of the fact that they don't want to get too close to each other, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe you can just.
Well, yeah, you can focus
Insert
on
somebody.
one, but
I think
either
one of
those
the
by themselves is pretty difficult to take down.
one of the themes we'll notice is this is the appearance of Finn Rao weekend, Rebel Finn Rao, because he's in the top spots in all these regionals. Second place was VI Finn Rao with M969 Hotshot Co-Pilot. Lowrick with Selflessness, Courier Droid because why not,
Sure.
and Ray, and then a super fat Nora.
You can strip off tokens from 2 different ships with that one, can't you? You like shoot at it with hot shot and take away its focus token, and then use its pilot ability to take another ship's tokens.
Yeah.
Pretty brilliant.
That sucks.
Also, they got a really cheap PS11 guy.
Yeah.
He's not like a powerhouse attacker or anything,
No,
but
he's
doesn't
utility.
matter.
Mike flew that PS11 Fenn round against me recently. It was a pain in the
I've
rear.
noticed
Caleb
that
is
pretty
my
much
witness.
everybody on here has got VI on their
That you
round.
originated.
I am.
I
am
didn't
Mike's
originate
witness
it,
that
but
Yeah, you did.
Mike thought this stuff up before it started showing up in regionals all weekend.
I'm not saying that I was the one that thought of it, but I've had this for a while, not just copying the results of this past mega regional weekend.
Yeah, you definitely were using it before we started to see all this.
I've never seen it. I think you're making that up.
Well,
You
I
don't
mean,
play
it's-
on Wednesday nights anymore.
That's
It's
fair.
it's because you want to make X-Wing good again.
Moving on to the other 2 lists in the top 4. There was another Rebel Finn. This time he had Kanan in the Ghost to go with him. Oh, but they actually had Zeb in the Phantom. So,
Well, yeah, because you're not going to have him docked. Come on.
yeah. I hadn't read down to Zeb yet, so I thought he had. And then rounding out the top 4 is Asajj Nim, which Scum Nim, maybe not quite as good as he used to be, but flown right, he's still pretty solid.
And it's also Asajj. And Asajj... Is Asajj the best scum pilot to have come out of the FAC? Or is Dengar still up on top?
I
I've
I
looked
haven't
at
seen
you,
a whole
Eric.
lot of Dengar. People are flying Asajj all over the
It
place.
might be Asajj, yeah. She might be the top Scum pilot.
Asajj has been real solid forever, so
Which means she's
I
next.
think since she's shown up, she's been hovering around or at top tables of just about every tournament.
Oddly enough, since the FAC, Ketsu has shown up a whole bunch.
There's a lot more Ketsu, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
lots of people
Asajj
flying
needs a good
Ketsu.
wingman.
Well, they're not even flying her with Asajj. They're like just going whole hog on Ketsu with
Well,
the tractor beaming and stuff.
I mean, also
It's
part
a
of it
decent way to
is-
fuck with Wookiees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
And also, PS matters more.
Get her up to 9, Ketsu Bosk. That was always like a niche thing, but it's still around now.
Yeah, I think it was pretty solid, but it just wasn't as good as whatever.
Did you
else
take
was going
Ketsu Bosk to Worlds?
on. No, I did Dengar Boss.
Dengar Bosk. Oh yeah, because it was pre-fact Dengar. Yeah,
Yep.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
it was all Alpha Strike.
Yeah, so Poland, they're better than us. That's
Yeah.
no real mirror matches in the top 4.
That's
pretty
cool. You also had Queensland, New Guinea, or New Zealand?
Australia.
Australia. Okay.
Queensland.
Sorry
over
to
there.
all our Australian listeners. I apologize profusely.
We actually do have an Australian
I
following.
know. I know. That's why I'm apologizing profusely.
We all quit listening because we didn't know where.
There's your Dengar Asajj in the top 4 of the
I don't
Queensland
know.
ones.
They could say where Salt Lake City is, so
Yeah.
we'll call that even.
Also, I mean, at least it's not Brisbane, right, guys?
Save.
What are some of the highlights out of Queensland?
Somebody else read these.
So the winner was Morgan Reed with 2 Rogue Squadron veterans at Deadeye giant ships and harpoon missiles, and then Kylo Ren with Push Limit and all the other disgusting stuff people talk about with him. Dengar
Row your boats.
Yeah, Dengar Asajj.
Okay.
That's a pretty good Dengar with Punishing One, K4, and Expertise. And then Asajj has got 2 Glitter Stems, Lone Wolf, Countermeasures, and Flat.
Time Walk Asajj.
What do you know? Jumpmaster's still seeing play.
Yeah.
Only one of them though.
Still. Got second.
Well, I just mean it's Dengar. It's not 3 of them in the list,
Yeah.
And also, how much of that is Dengar and how much of that is Asajj? Because
I think Asajj probably did a lot of work in that list.
That Dengar hits like a fucking truck.
It
Yeah.
does. That's my favorite Dengar.
Yeah.
I remember when the U-Wing first came out, I slapped expertise in K4 on Dengar and had a heyday.
Then you threw the U-Wing in the trash.
No, I love my U-Wing. I use it all the time.
I know, it's so
wish it was
useful
good.
for having come with the expertise.
Well, and then when you house rule it to have the mobile side arcs, and you can just yell like Biston in the movie shooting.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, and then the other one list we had in top 4 was Kanan Jarrus with TLT, Ghost, FCS, Ray, Recon, lots of focus tokens. Lowrick with Draw Their Fire, Jan, Ors, and then Zeb and Chopper. I'm guessing Doc.
yeah.
Jesus,
On
Jan
Kanan.
on Lowrick, so
Yeah, so-
Kanan's.
With Kanan, so neither of those ships are ever dying
So Kanan has 2 focus tokens and an evade.
every round.
Mhm.
Fuck that.
And if you do happen to get some crits on that Ghost, Lowrick just takes him. God.
Solid.
And lastly, we had Asajj and Bosk. Asajj, same time lock Asajj, only this one had the title, and then Bosk had Mangler Cannon, because
I
that's
hear
real
he's
good.
good with it.
Well,
VI,
Mangler Cannon's always good.
Burnout Slam, Countermeasures, Dengar, Crew, Forlum, and Zekis. That's pretty nasty. I do like the Burnout Slam on the YV66.
No, it
Six.
sucks. Somebody used that against me recently.
Because,
What
like, that ship, like, mostly,
My
like,
pouch
when I
shuttle
was
melted
flying it,
like
you would, like,
butter on a stovetop.
alpha strike something and then spend the rest of the time trying to turn around.
Is the 4 straight
So-
white on that? Can
think
it
so.
do like 4 of them 4?
That's ugly.
Right off the map.
I am of the opinion that all of the crew and upgrades that mess with people's tokens should be amended to include reinforced tokens, like Forlom.
Yes. Yeah,
Forlom.
Absolutely.
I don't
West
know if you'll
Jansen.
find anybody that disagrees with you.
I think
Right.
that's part of the prevalence of all the like Wookiees around is because
Nothing
you can't mess with
nothing
that.
can counter it at
You
this
can't
point.
mess with the reinforced
like
token.
a jam token still won't get rid of a reinforced token,
Right.
right?
No.
Why the fuck not? They came out at the same, well,
Because
even
the
afterwards.
developers
Yeah.
don't give a shit about this game being fair and balanced.
No.
Fox News.
That was their cool idea for that wave, and they stuck to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a bad idea.
I don't know if I
Reinforced should never have been in a 100-point dogfight.
No.
without being able to be
Fuck.
dealt with by jam or.
And if
Some
you were
other-
going to put it on something because you had to for some stupid reason, why does it have 1 agility?
Should have 0 agility.
Especially in a faction that has access to C3PO crew.
Yep.
'Cause that's a great idea. All right. I'm done bitching for the moment.
Come
So
fight
Glendale.
Eric, Alex
Someone
Davey.
else's turn to talk about the list. Here's
Well,
Stu.
Glendale,
This sounds
Arizona
like
is
something you
interesting.
want to read.
Oh. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Let's
over to Glendale,
see.
which was not streamed. I don't think we didn't get to see any of this. Oh, there was also something big in Toronto this past weekend, but I couldn't find any info on
Was
the
it
lists.
an FFG official thing?
I
or
think so.
Was it a regionals?
I thought
was it
so.
a system open? Are
It
those
wasn't.
going on
It
yet?
wasn't a system open, but I thought it was big, like a regional.
I'm sure someone will let us know how wrong we were about what happened in
Do it.
Toronto. We do have some Canadian friends. I'm sure they'll let us know.
Hit us up,
true.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark, let us know what happened in Toronto.
Just in general.
Just like all the news.
that Mark?
Like, do
Yes,
you have
that
an
was
awesome
Mark.
mayor still? Or is it somebody else now? I think it's
somebody
someone
who's
else.
not doing crack cocaine?
Yeah.
Oh God. So in Glendale, the winner was Miranda Nim, TLT on both,
You
harpoons on
can't
both.
tell through audio the disdain that was on Stu's face.
Yes,
when
you
he
can.
was-
just-
I can hear it.
Absolutely exciting. It's Alpha Strike and TLT. Rinse, repeat. Second place was 4 Kashyyyk Defenders with Wookiee Commandos. Really, really fun to fly, I'm sure, doing one action the entire game. Third place, I like this one, Sol Sixa and Asajj. It looks
that's
like
interesting.
it's that same bullshit Asajj. Doesn't even sound fun. But the Sol Sixa's got expertise TLT, which I'm into, and it's got harpoons and bomblet. So,
That thing can kill you like 4 different ways.
Yeah. Which is interesting at
You
least.
want to fly away? I'll TLT you.
But
Or
you know, at
harpoon
least
you.
he's not doing it at PS10.
Oh, you want to
like
follow
Nim.
me? I'll
and
just
then
bomb
fourth
you.
place was another Nim Miranda
Oh, good.
with surprise, surprise TLTs on both
Uh-huh.
harpoons.
Uh-huh.
It looks like Nim just had bomblet and engine upgrade, which is interesting.
They have advanced sensors. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It gives you more bomb options.
No harpoons though, just on Miranda for those 5 dice. Because I mean, this is what you ask. This is what you ask for when you put out things like the Ozatech. The only reliable way to take them down right now is with tractor beam tokens or with repeated 5 dice alpha strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Or flipping the damn table.
Yeah, that's a good way.
That's the option I have taken is to rage quit.
There you go.
So, just looking a little bit past the top 4, in the top 8, there were 2 lists that featured gunboats heavily. There was a quick draw and 3 long-range scanner new squadrons, and then 3 rows and a new squadron with harpoon missiles. So 4 gunboats with harpoon missiles.
Yeah.
Was in the top 8. Blah. Then there was a Poe Nim. There's our first trajectory simulator, Genius Nim, that had which one? Yeah, it's got bomblet on there.
Okay.
And then we had plot armored dash Poe also rounding out the top 8.
That was Ryan Palmer, right?
Surprised he didn't.
Oh yeah, that was
fly his unlimited shields chopper.
Yeah, for real, man. What happened with that Y-wing that could get up to like 11 shields before you started combat that you talked about?
I think that everyone's actually decided that he can't actually do that.
Well, even if you could, I think Poe is still better because you can actually move Poe across the board.
You totally can't do that, but he was convinced that you could
This
get that.
Y-wing has like 16 health, but Poe's still better.
Yep.
I mean, it's a Y-wing.
Yeah.
That isn't a stress hog, so...
Yeah, couple harpoon missiles.
Well,
take
in the
that
next
Y-wing
movie,
down.
in the next movie, when Poe has to fly a Y-wing, because that's all that's left.
Why haven't there been any Y-wings in the new Star Wars
Because they
movies?
suck. They're
Because they
obsolete.
phased them
Yeah,
out.
they phased them out.
like
That's my
them.
assumption.
Yeah.
We'll
They
see
look
the
cool.
Z-wing, its successor in the next one.
I mean,
Z-wing?
no, realistically,
So
though,
we're going to get Z95s?
It's the Z or the N-wing, however you feel like.
It depends on what orientation you're looking at it
All
at.
right, Tater, here you go. Here's a nice little stretch from me to you. There is a Y-wing in the new movies, and it's called the Upsilon Shuttle.
Oh, fuck, it is a Y!
In German,
Or is it a V?
the letter Y is Ypsilon.
All
that
right.
is the Y-wing.
I have been satisfied.
So now you need to
Y-wings
fly
are
that with. So you need to fly that with Chopper and
I'm
Courier Droid.
going to try and fly to my next Rebel list and be like, it's a Y-wing.
Trust me.
Listen.
Use the Y-wing.
Let me
Germany, they would
explain.
totally know what I'm
Hold
talking
on.
Scott, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about seeing so many Alpha class Star Wings in the top 8 here?
He's going to have to clean his seat up later.
Yeah. I'm psyched that I'm thrilled. Especially because I remember a lot of people just like, God, that ship's not actually that good. Looking at these stats, like,
Just looking at Scott, and I was hoping he would start that speech with, like, I just want to thank Jesus. With him, all things are possible.
I need to thank my moms, my
And
dads.
your agents.
I gotta
and,
thank all
and
my,
TIE Fighter.
yeah. TIE Fighter Tuesday single-handedly bringing back the gunboat.
Take credit for it. I mean,
I did originate this
Star Wing.
ship.
Gunboat.
Gunwing.
I will take
like
credit
that.
for this ship. My name's in the book that it is on the paper it comes with. So yeah. So when you guys see that this ship is broken and is just dominating,
It's your
play,
fault.
It's my fault.
I don't think it's broken. I think
No, it's
it's
not.
appropriate. Which
I think it's interesting. The only lists that have come out recently that I kind of like are the quick draw accompanied by a few of those because it's a type of list that Imperials haven't really had an opportunity to fly.
It's a weird, like flying them a little bit. They fly weird. Like they are not a. They're not a typical jousting ship, though they can do it.
They also really want you to use slam.
Yeah,
They're good
Like when I flew mine,
flankers.
I was like, you can tell these things want you to slam all over.
they
the place.
are. They are, and this is a weird thing for the Imperials. It's a hit and fade ship. It is you hit, then you fly away for a turn.
what I kind of like about it,
and then come back around.
And it's allowed. I've started to see a bunch of actual 4-ship Imperial lists.
Hells
show up,
yes.
which is something I think the factions wanted for a while.
I think this ship fits in a lot of like roles the Imperials have been missing, and lets you start building like an Imperial toolbox list that has a bunch of different multi-role kind of things. it lets you build like a Swiss Army knife
Yeah, you
list.
could
for
build
Imperials.
something akin to like
Oof.
Paul Heaver's Worlds list
Yeah.
from a few years ago with like
An
a
Imperial
Stress Hog,
Flare.
Poe,
And two Z's or something like
yeah.
that.
and like
There
a
was two
weight
was
regular
the
type
Y-wing and the Z.
Y-wing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the Z. Like you could do that.
Like yeah, I think you could build like a Doom shuttle or even like a Doom TIE bomber shuttle.
You could even do like TIE bomber shuttle.
Bomber,
Doom
J
canoe.
shuttle.
And you could do an aggressor for TLT.
A gunboat with like an HLC or Mangler, and then like I don't know,
Quick draw.
or backdraft or something. Like that sounds like an interesting combination of
No
lists.
list is complete without quick draw.
So, quick question again for Scott, but this is just coincidental.
Yeah.
You bought the fridge in here. What are we naming it?
Perry,
And why Perry?
the refrigerator Perry.
Is he a plaid
That was just
platypus?
about to say.
No, it's
Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
Lineman.
the refrigerator Perry.
I have no idea what
The
you're talking
fridge.
Of all people in this room to not know what we're talking about, I cannot believe the faces that you're making right
He
now.
got so famous they made a GI Joe out of him.
I couldn't hear what you said at the. Yeah.
Oh,
I caught
gotcha.
that.
You could
Yeah.
also like get just like a little freezer and call it the icebox, like from Little Giants.
There we go. Yeah.
I didn't know if we were gonna try to pass this off as Brody, and he's just talking in the background.
Yeah. No.
about. He's just like,
We could have him add his commentary in post.
But no, the fridge's name is Perry.
All right, good to know. So there was also a big ass regional in Chicago. They had something like 150,000 people.
Speaking
play
of
it
the
this
Bears.
Yeah, I've got those lists pulled up here.
Oh,
Yeah. So, well, I thought that they did something pretty cool at this regional. They copied sort of the world's model of having two flights. So they had a Friday flight where
that
they
was
played
the
like
Chicago
six
one?
rounds, and then Saturday, and then they did a top 32 on Sunday.
That's the one that G Squadron was at.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's like their home store hosted it and everything. Yeah.
So lists.
Yes.
They did it on like Thursday.
Just
So-
like top
Friday.
4.
So
Friday, Saturday,
the
Sunday.
over they don't
Friday,
have all the matchups listed for obvious reasons because there's like a billion of them. But if you sort by championship rank, you can figure out the top 4. So a winner was Fen Rao, Rebel Fen Rao with adaptability, Poe Dameron with the Black One title R5P9, auto thrusters adaptability, advanced optics, and Nora with push the limit C3PO R2D2 title and vectored thrusters.
One note, that was the PS8 version of Poe.
PS8 Poe. So they probably adaptability Fen Rao down, I would guess.
Well, Poe
Put
had
him at 8?
adaptability too, so I think they were both. At
Oh,
9.
so they probably put them both at 9.
I think that's how it went.
But Finn Rouse at 9.
Second
right?
place
So it's
finisher was
weird.
You're right.
Ezra in the shuttle with selflessness and Phantom title. Not Phantom 2, regular Phantom title. Kanan in the Ghost, Sensor Jammer, Twin Laser Turret, Maul crew, Ray and the Ghost title, and Fenrau with VI, Flight Assist Astromech, and Hotshot Copilot. And then the other 2 lists in the top 4 was a Low-Rick Selflessness C-3PO Ray with Miranda, TLT, Long Range Scanners, Bomblet, and Bombardier, and a Jess
Bombardier.
Pava, Draw Their Fire, R2D6, and Integrated Astromech. And then the final list was a scum list in Aldra with Atani and Light Sick title, feeding those focuses to Fenrau with Atani and title and auto thrusters, and Asajj, that looks like Time Walk Asajj.
Time Walk
as well.
Asajj and an Aldra Tani.
We should call it something else
Okay.
because it doesn't like make sense.
Well, let's
What?
do
It
the time
doesn't
walk
make sense.
again.
It doesn't make sense now.
Now we need to clean my seat. No, I don't know. I feel like that Asajj sounds like a pain, but it's definitely not the level of broken that Time Walk was.
No, it's
Like,
not.
So you understand the Time Walk reference then?
yeah,
It's a
I mean,
Magic
this is a
Gathering
card that
thing.
they had to like instantly ban because you could take like 2 turns in a row with it, right?
It was is you would time walk, and what would happen is after you played this card, you could take another turn. And there were ways to recurse it from your graveyard, and there were also ways to play it multiple times, and just it became
Yeah, so it
just
sounds
a
shitty.
nightmare.
Cool.
It was shitty.
And then
Pulling it
just
up to read what it actually does because
Yeah.
this is important because we're a Magic podcast.
Yep.
It's
Shout out
just
to-
in.
New spinoff. Well, while he looks that up, we've only got two more
Time walks this shit
into
hard, but
List
also,
Juggler.
Yeah,
Of the
two of
top
the
eight.
other top 8 lists aren't in there.
Yeah, we've got Miranda,
my
Stress Shuttle, Ezra, and Lorik, and then
All right.
Kylo,
This
Ryan,
is the
and
Power
Academy.
9 card, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is its actual? All right, read it off to me, Eric.
All right, it's one colorless in an island.
Okay. Yep,
Take an
that's
extra
bad.
turn after this one.
Yep.
And it's a sorcery.
Mhm.
Like, that's fucking cheap, and there's too many things to, like, dig shit out of your graveyard and play again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you could basically make it so that your opponent can't do anything.
Yeah, it's 2 mana for next turn.
It's just stupid.
I remember a deck that somebody built that did something similar, but it required a card that cost like 5 mana and like 2 other combo pieces in order to get it back and keep casting it.
Yeah, but that was from Alpha before. That was back when it was like, this card is so rare. Good luck
Yeah.
finding it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways. Yeah, that's nowhere near that level of broken. Okay. we'll move on.
MTG.
Did you just make a marker on to delete that?
Maybe.
Yeah, you should have, because like we don't need to talk about Time Walk and all that
Yeah,
nonsense.
we do.
Um,
Let's talk about Black Lotus.
No. Though apparently you can get some decent like bootleg cards from China. In fact, I was seeing one that was just like, it even passes the bend test.
Mike just hit stop. I watched him do it.
I switched back over to the notes. So, those are the major results from the past weekend. We had a couple regionals weeks before then. I think they were both won by Palp Aces.
Weird.
One of the ones we've already had was won by Quick Draw in 3. Your Quick Draw in 2
That's right. It's
Star Wings with the Row Squadron or Row Squadron veterans.
Quick, quick
That was
draw
one of
three
them. That was like the very first regional that
And
happened.
then the other was Palp Aces. It was
Yeah.
there was one that's
Oh, that's right, because it was the Palp Aces that was like the one I'm going to run, except they've sacrificed engine on Vader for harpoon missiles, and they sacrificed
Right. Yeah.
lightweight frame and the tech slot on Quick Draw for harpoon missiles.
Were
Right, and they both have
those-
guirds chips.
Yes.
Were
'Cause
those
you're just relying
the
on
first
your-
2 regionals?
I think
Yeah.
so.
We had after Wave 12?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it seems to be that, like, you have sort of like an old, like, Palp Aces, like an old proven list that does well at the regionals while everybody figures out the new wave of
Yeah,
stuff.
so screw me in Albuquerque.
Haha! You should just do what I'm going to do and just run double decimators.
3 decimators?
Oh god, if I could run 3
Just
decimators.
see if anyone notices. Why not?
Just stack 2
These
on
are the
top
new
of each other.
generics. They came out with the latest wave.
They're
of stuff. You guys didn't
33
know?
points each. What are you? All right, T.O. and Caleb will come over and go like, yep, fair.
It's legit. Don't worry.
So I just roll around 3 decimators. God
So looking
damn
at
it.
these results and trying to remember the results of the end of regionals or whatever it was before
Yeah.
the fackening in these releases. Do,
fackening.
do we like this better now? I think it's a whole lot better and more diverse.
I feel like Rebels are all over the place, and they
Yeah.
hadn't been for a really long time.
Um,
And lots of different kind of Rebel
I feel like
lists.
you're forgetting how horrible it is to play against Rebel Region.
yeah.
right,
Well,
but
against
I'm
it plenty.
I'm not forgetting how horrible it was to play against triple boats.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's still not horrible to play against Rebel Regen. What I'm saying is there's a much wider variety of Rebel lists than just straight Regen
And
lists.
give me Rebel Region over Stage 4 Cancer. What the fuck was it actually called? Fair Ship Rebel.
Yeah, Fair Ship Rebels.
And torpedo
Bullshit.
boats any day.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were ways around that.
Fair Ship Rebel, when they would just castle, was bullshit.
I'm glad I never
didn't
actually
see any
played
of
against
that.
that
We
one.
didn't, but the idea of it was total bullshit. Even though I guess you could kind of do that with 4
What was
Wookiees.
that dank X-Wing meme today? Something about, like, maybe it wasn't them. That was something about, like, a magic carpet list or whatever, like a walking carpet list. And it's like, may God have mercy on your... Or I was like, you went on points. May God have mercy on your soul. Something stupid like that. I don't know.
I was thinking about the one where you just are turning onto the overpass, and it's just like, to the right, it's dank X-Wing leads. To the left, it's stop blaming others and get better at the game.
No, definitely going to read
And
more
it's just the
memes.
car just swerving into the right side, like, nope, dank X-Wing leads.
So I didn't mean that there's nothing that's NPE and everything's wholesome, but I feel like we're in a better spot than we were 6 months or a year ago.
I don't know. All I see is Rebel as far as the eye can see again.
Yeah. Remember how Pal Basis was going to get so overpowered now with all this stuff that came out? Yeah. Remember that?
No.
Remember how Palp really needed a nerf?
Oh, yeah, I know. Here's a question for you, Stu. If Palp isn't nerfed, is he able to even crack into these like wins?
I mean, it's not that much different from his ability to do it now.
No. Yeah. Like, he's still on way too
Still
vulnerable
capable
of
of doing it.
Yeah.
So of the 6 regionals, I can remember the 4 we're looking at here, and then those others. 3 have been won by Imperials, 3 Rebels. If I'm missing any, I apologize, but Scum has kind of gotten the shit end of things since.
Yeah, nobody's really doing much with Scum at the moment.
Well, remember,
Like
We just went back
You
in
kind
time.
of
a
like
little
look
bit.
at the big picture of it. I feel like they're like, here's a new faction, and it was like terrible. So then they're like way overcorrected on it,
now they're
and
bringing
now
it back
they've
down.
like probably way overcorrected on fixing it.
Mhm.
They
I think
didn't
they've-
balance it, but they like overcorrected on what they should do with it. But
And I'm afraid they've run out of ideas for just ships to release.
that's
for
the
that
other
faction.
problem. Is like, where else are they going to get ships from for that?
Where are they
Well-
going to get ships for all the factions pretty soon here?
Well, you'll have a steady supply of First Order and
I guess that's true.
Resistance ships out of new movies, right? Like they're like, what did we? There's still no A-wing.
Yeah.
The like new A-wing, they could do that. There was another Imperial ship, wasn't there?
They showed it didn't make the actual like dogfight, but they showed like schematics of First Order TIE bombers.
and interceptors.
Yeah. There's, I mean, and especially with like new movies coming out, you'll have a steady supply of that. Where you're probably not gonna is like Scum.
So
Yeah.
we really do need a bounty hunter movie then. If for no other, well, as far
But
as
we already
X-Wing is
have their
concerned.
ships.
I know.
I mean, I'm
We need
of
a
the
bounty hunter
opinion
movie with
of
new
I
bounty
want
hunters
more
and new
Star Wars
ships.
movies.
So
Yeah, I mean the Han Solo movie might have some stuff, but
Scum
great.
Han.
Yeah,
Do it.
because you know what
Won't
Scum
happen.
needs is another large base turret.
Don't
Yeah.
even care. They get a new ship.
have you seen that Lego set? I'm buying the shit out of that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tear apart my old Millennium Falcon Lego set and build that one and put it on the shelf instead.
Did
'Cause it looks
you
baller.
Did you see the video of someone shooting the Super Star Destroyer Lego set into a brick wall?
Yes.
Yes, I've seen it and it makes me sad. I have built that Lego set. It takes a
You
long
have
time.
one of those?
Yeah, I
That's
have one
of
at the
my-
office.
That's one of my biggest regrets is not buying.
I have a
those.
Super Star Destroyer at the office. I have the big, huge 5,000 piece Millennium Falcon at
Field
the
trip,
office.
everybody. We're going to Caleb's
Yeah, why
office.
Yeah, you
Why-
want to see some sweet Legos? Come to my
Why am I at
office.
Caleb's office playing with Legos.
I have the UCS B wing. The UCS X wing is at the office.
Sweet.
Damn it!
What's UCS?
The Ultimate Collector Series. They're the big ones that cost like $300-400 a pop.
Every so often on the Wish app, the Super Star Destroyer shows up, and I'm just like, fuck.
If you want a Super Star Destroyer, buy it from Lepin in China. Instead of costing $1,200 on Amazon, it costs like $150.
Yeah, that's
And it's the
one
exact
that I
same
see.
thing. The only difference with the pegs is that pegs don't say Lego on the little
Yeah.
caps.
It's a bootleg one.
Yeah, but they're like legit Legos. They fit with your regular Legos.
Don't let Big Lego hear you. They'll come
Big
after you.
Lego's gonna shut us down.
Big Lego was really good wrestler in the 80s.
Oh my god!
But to
I actually like
Big
that one.
Boss Man actually took him out, and like his knees have never been the same.
Then we went too far.
to pull it back to the topic at hand, it's your classic case of yes, there's new Imperial stuff. There's arguably some new Scum stuff, but none of it's warping the meta like the Rebel stuff is.
Like the
and it's just
Wookiees.
a repeat of all that kind of shit again. You get Guns for Hire that comes out, and all it is a $40 pack so you can get harpoons for your Miranda.
Yeah, remember when Thweek was hitting big, and now it's just you.
I like to think about how many
Thweek is still
new
in some
paint
of
job
these
K
expanded
fighters and
kits.
Star Vipers are sitting in people's boxes just so all these harpoon missiles can be in these regionals.
My God, do you remember people bitching about how overpowered Vaskai was?
And like you don't see it anywhere.
Like I have yet to see a Vaskai.
Although that
On the
guy
table.
with Justero on the stream the other day was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Where he used Justero's ability and sacrificed Fenrau. It was pretty cool.
oh that's cool.
I don't remember if he won that game or not. I had to go back to work, but it was cool to see Captain Justero in a list on
I
the
mean,
street.
Captain Justero's like got a good ability and is interesting, but
There was some really, I don't know. There was some really fun stuff that came in that, but I don't think there's any like overpowering stuff, which is
Right.
I don't know if that's necessarily. I guess I don't know. It's not really a problem, but like you're not gonna see it at a tournament because it's not like
Brody
it's just
was
not breaking
100%
stuff.
right in the Star Viper fix is not enough.
Yeah.
God.
Like-
he was right.
Don't tell him that though.
Tell your
Too late.
sister.
I mean, we all know. to pull it back to Scott's initial comment, like, our names are on that shit.
Uh-huh.
We know.
We know. It's terrible.
Like
Yeah, everything
Brody's
sucks.
been saying the Star Viper fix isn't good enough before it was announced.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
well,
remember hearing him say,
how
whatever
are-
they do to fix the Star Viper won't be enough.
Like, you know what it does? That Star Viper fix gets it to where it should have been when it got released initially.
Is the fundamental problem
That's a
on
fair
the Star
point.
Viper is it needs a dial fix, right? Like, is that the real
The
problem?
well, the fundamental well, maybe, but also
The type of ship that it is, its greens just make no sense
yeah.
whatsoever.
The other problem is that its PS is all terrible.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it does not
Again,
have the PS
going back to the
be
type
that
of ship it is,
yeah.
it wants to be high PS Arc Dodger.
Like that ship should have had a native 9 or
They
an
wanted
8.
to make it a Arc Dodger. It was like in between an Arc Dodger and a Jouster.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't like it was like okay at both of those, and it ended up being like a multi-tool where it like yeah, this is also a wrench and a screwdriver, but it's a shitty screwdriver and a shitty wrench.
Yeah, it should have had either an 8 or 9 PS with a good pilot ability that didn't make you want to push the limit or VI.
And when it came out, there was still a PS battle, but it was capped out at 9. There wasn't the, you have to be at 10 or 11 or you're fucked. Like once we got to that, then totally dead.
Because they were smart with like Whisper and Echo. Like Whisper and Echo have the correct PS for them.
Yeah.
Yes, but it just means that
VI
you're
staple to
limiting
them.
your options.
So the problem
it's the
is
same thing with
VI as an
Frontier, where
APT.
like push is stapled to it.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
actually,
a
VI
design
as an
flaw.
EPT is a problem.
It's a design flaw
VI
that
should just go
you
away.
have ships that require these things. Otherwise, what's the point? Like you want to have options. There's so many different EPTs. There's a bunch that suck, but there's so many ships, especially on the Imperial side, that if you don't have VI, don't take it.
VI or push the limit. Yeah. Like that's one of the inherent problems is that if it's the same problem with like the TLT where you're coming out with all these other EPTs, but do they measure up to VI or push the limit? No, then fucking who cares? And it's the same thing with turrets like right now where it's just hey, a new turret came out. If TLT didn't exist, this would be a pretty decent turret.
Look at you, Sync Turret.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Sync
Yep.
turret would
Exactly.
be a
Such
pretty
wasted
good
potential.
turret if TLT doesn't exist, right?
What wasn't the biggest thing with
it was
TLT
range
that
3.
it like is range 3?
It's range 3.
Like they just need another turret that's range 3.
Yeah.
And maybe people take that instead of TLT.
Except it'd be like 8 points
And it won't do as much work as TLT does.
Or at this point, with the way power creep is going, it'll be 4 points and deal a guaranteed 1 damage with an additional chance.
You won't
deal
have to
2
take
more.
an accuracy corrector anymore to make it stupid.
I think the easiest way around that, which now that we have precedent and a fact of altering what's on cards, you alter the ion cannon and maybe Sync Turret to say range 1 to 3
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah, ion cannon.
They
would
won't
be
do
pretty
it.
good.
Just make all the turrets.
Not all
The
of them.
whole
I
way.
don't want
No.
a range 3 auto blaster.
No.
No,
fuck
Well,
that.
yeah, no.
But
Auto
like,
blaster needs
ion
to
Auto
stay.
blaster
cannon-
should just go away.
Ion cannon turret at 5 points, 5 points, and a max damage potential of 1 should be range 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Especially since the cannon is 1 to 3.
Yeah.
And it's 3 points, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously turret, right? 360.
Yeah.
That should be more points than the cannon
But
should.
yeah,
but
5
like,
points.
It's 2 more points to shoot 360 and
And
one
it
less
takes
range band.
And you have to worry about, what ships can take it. There's a much more limited number of ships that can take that. Yeah, like Sync Turret gets play if it's got range 1 to 3.
More
Right?
like Sync Turd.
Yeah. But like that turret gets play if it's range 1 to 3, right?
Yeah.
I'd use it if it was
Probably,
range 1 to
I
3.
think it would get, yeah.
I'd give it a shot.
One of the I already closed the list that had the regionals, but one of them had a Kanan with sync turret in the top cut somewhere.
Was that a we don't have points for TLT issue?
Yeah, because they had Finn and then Lorik and all that other bullshit in there.
They had a list where it was just like, good luck trying to do damage to me. And then
pretty
they're
much
like,
what
I
it was.
probably should put a turret on my ghost. So
Yeah.
there's 4 points left. Okay. That's
Here's the
similar.
dorsal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time when you see a turret that's not TLT, it's like
It's because the
They
list
were-
is at 100 points.
the list is at 100 points and there are other things the list needs more than TLT.
So yeah, but we were talking more about like what the meta's looking like right now and all that stuff, and before we went on these horrible rants. But
Hey, we've had way more horrible rants than
Oh,
that
yeah.
one.
That was actually a fairly constructive and measured rant, in my
Yeah,
opinion,
we
for
were
you guys.
talking about the CFR earlier, and we should get back to that.
Oh,
Fuck
okay.
off. Hey, Caleb, what happened yesterday after everybody listens to this on a Sunday?
What happened yesterday? We had our regional.
Caleb cried for hours.
I very well might have. You never
I don't know why we're having Caleb on this podcast. He fucking stabbed that dude. Caleb, you killed a
Caleb's on the
guy.
lamb.
Caleb, you killed a guy.
Caleb warned you beforehand. He was starting at 9:30, and there would be no late. There would be no tardiness. So
Caleb
this is
might
your
still
fault.
My
be crying.
over-under on that is
Wait.
that there's at least 2 people.
So you want to go 1.5 or 2.5 on that?
I think
But
you're gonna
over-
get
1.5.
I think you're
One
gonna
and
get
a half.
at least 3 people that
You think
come
at least
in.
3 that come in at like 9:45 and roll
Yeah.
in?
How many of them are going to
Absolutely.
cry?
I would even
I hope
go
all
3
of them
or
actually,
more.
because not only did I put it on Facebook, I'm gonna put it in an email, and I message specific people.
And he's
the
going to
day
get a
before.
Skyrider. So it's over the entire city.
I want that Skyrider to be like, bitch, show up on time.
Get here on time or else.
You know what? I kind of just want to pay a Skyrider to just do that on random days. Just, bitch, show up on time.
just over a random city.
Yeah.
People be like, "Oh, it must be
Yeah,
me."
people are like sitting in traffic, like, what if I could?
So if you couldn't infer, Caleb is the TO for the Salt Lake City Regional.
Oh.
What's going on at the regional? We're having a demolition games. How many people are we going to shove in the store?
Yeah, since this will be airing post regional, we will have had up to 60 people in demolition games. I'm thinking probably between 50 and 60.
I'm so glad everyone remembered
And-
deodorants and other things.
Yeah, well, we will have had at least 4 tower fans in the building running, circulating the air,
Hells yeah.
and water bottles and such to keep people hydrated.
Do you remember that tournament we had at demo when the windows fogged up?
That was
right.
last year's regional.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's not going to happen this
It was
year.
not cool. Literally.
It was really hot. I remember that.
I had
It
to
was
be
so
upstairs
hot.
for.
Yeah, we
most
will
of
have had
my
up to
matches.
60 people. We'll have had a good time.
Hells yeah.
We were lucky to get up to 60 people.
We were lucky to get up to 60 people. Originally, we only were going to get to have 44. I leaned on Travis pretty hard to get 60. Brought in some extra tables, all that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Dealt with a whole shit ton of people asking me obscure rules questions.
and
That's what happens when you TO.
And we weren't even at the tournament yet. Like, people be Facebooking me being like, "Can I call you about this question?" And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, no, they saw things happening at these other 4 or 5 regionals
Yeah.
in one weekend. And like, oh, well, what if that happens? It's not going to happen to you.
Well, it's good. This is a good segue to our new segment, Obscure Rules Questions with Caleb.
Nope, that's
he's
terrible.
he's going to quit if we do that.
So here's the real problem with that. When FFG releases ships, they should release a FAQ that explains how this stuff is supposed to fucking work.
And interact with other things.
I mean,
That way we-
that's if they don't work. You know, ideally they work right the first time.
I will say that I have
Ideally,
spent...
you write things so that they're clear
Right.
and people understand
But
how
we-
they're supposed
we
to
don't
You
work.
would
live in
still
that
need
world.
a fact for interactions with
Yes.
other things.
Going
Yes.
into the regionals, which is as we're recording this, I have spent, I kid you not, at least 15 hours researching harpoon missile interactions.
Fuck that shit.
I mean, I 100% believe you. I mean, I remember me and Brody doing that garbage.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yep.
I'm thinking maybe I just make up rules the regional.
I
think you
mean,
should
you
do that.
can. There's zero actual precedent for anything.
Yeah,
other than
harpoon missiles, those are banned. I don't know why you got those in your list.
No,
Take those
what
out.
you should do
just
is
like decimators, 33 points.
you should show up with a hat with a rule, like random
like
answers.
random harpoon missile rulings and be like, for you it works this way.
No, just say your entry fee is you have to tear up your harpoon missile
No.
cards at the door.
Better one. You need to make everybody make a rules check with a D20. Depending on their actual knowledge, like if they know the rules pretty
you don't
well,
roll
they
at
might
least
get
a-
like a +2 modifier.
If they don't roll at least a 15, they
It's
have to sort it out
actually
amongst
a
themselves.
charisma check, so people that have poor charisma actually do worse on that roll.
And then what happens
you
is
know
they're
who
like,
goes to these
nat
things?
20, guess the decimator's 33 points.
So,
yeah,
Caleb, you're TOing, not going to be able to play.
No, I won't be able to play at the Salt Lake City one. I'll
If
be
you
going
weren't
down.
TOing, though.
If I weren't TOing, I'd be taking my PS11 PAL bases. A few months ago, Stu mentioned it in passing, like on a Wednesday night, was like, what about PS11 PAL bases? And then a few weeks later, I was like, I'm going to try that. And I'm 15-4 with it.
and,
Hells yeah.
and like 6 of those wins are against me. I
Yeah.
fucking hate that list.
Yeah, Mike doesn't like that list at all.
Vader quick draw, right?
nice.
Vader
That's
quick
a
draw.
really fun list.
We got Vader's, got ATC, Engine, and VI, obviously.
I mean, why did I
Quick
ask that?
draw.
It's obviously not Vader's.
Quick Draw has VI, fire control, lightweight frame, pattern analyzer instead of prime thrusters. Most people put prime thrusters, but my personal play style, pattern analyzer works better for me because
You're wrong.
I know I'm wrong, Eric. But I get more use out of the point.
Bid.
I-
Extra bid.
But the bid, that's the thing I've been thinking about lately, so I'm going to
Kenny's
switch
not
back.
signed up, so you can actually show up with. A
You don't need to
2-3
run
bid.
92 points.
So when I go to the Albuquerque regional, which is the one I will actually play in,
You're gonna
I
drop
might
a bunch
switch
of
back
stuff.
to prime
I'm
thrusters.
gonna-
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna do
I'm
this
also
for
worried.
Scott.
I feel like PAL bases aren't going to do super great.
Albuquerque.
It's
Let's play
always
the
a
whole
solid
12-minute
list.
Weird Al song right here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I've
And
got
we're back.
enough games in with it.
Is
I'm
your
just gonna
tray
stick with
table
it
up
at this point.
and your seat back in the full upright position?
And we're back. Hey, everybody. That was an interesting commercial break.
There was no commercial break because Mike was in on that rant and he didn't cut it out.
So, Taylor,
Yes.
regionals list?
Let's see. So if I didn't have scheduling issues, I would be bringing probably Dengar Asajj. Probably not the Time Lock Asajj, which is probably why I didn't do well if I would have been there.
Right. You'd have run, what, like
in
push the
the-
limit laps?
Because I was actually thinking of Lone Wolf on Dengar because I just want Dengaroo to be a thing. As much as I bitch about other negative play experiences, I really love playing Dengaroo.
Let's remember the
For
fact
those,
that you
what,
played
80 some odd
Dingaroo
games you played it in a row.
exclusively for like a year.
I mean, the
I
thing
did
is,
well with that list.
it's the thing that you fall back on when you haven't played a lot is
Yeah.
you fall back on the ships that you know. And that's why I'm showing up with double decimators.
It's a 3.2 company special, right?
the not 3 point, no, because, well, yeah.
You
'cause
have
I'm
Decimator and something else in your list.
Yeah, I'm showing up with a Cheerly with engine upgrade and something else. And that something else is Captain Oiken. With Caleb's
Boshek?
favorite crew.
You're not running Boshek?
Freaking Mara Jade is bullshit.
Yeah, Mara Jade!
You're not going to run Boshek on your Oiken?
No, I'm going to run Mara Jade and crew.
Well, you're also wrong. Just like Caleb.
Well, no, what I'm so right about is both of those guys are going to run Determination, so that's like 8
Oh,
whole
yeah, that's
upgrades.
like
You know what
20,
you know what
20
I
whole
wish I
upgrades.
could take to regionals? Is that feedback tell list you and I came up with.
Yes.
That was a good list.
Because that sucker was bonkers.
I
And then
watched-
it got nerfed again.
I watched
Yeah.
the feedback tell from the Chicago regional for a while.
Oh, man.
Somebody had it
I mean,
on
it was
stream.
good. It
That
was like
Dengar
Dengar
feedback tell
Bosk, only
list
it
was
had a little more
amazing.
finishing power than Dengar Bosk did.
Stu, in the Imperial hat, you are gonna take Rebels, right?
Now he's showing up.
Obviously.
He's going to bring quad TLT.
Ooh,
I'm going.
Regenning quad TLT.
He's bringing triple Wookiees.
He's going to have Chopper on one and R2D2 on the other.
I'm taking an entirely different squad.
Blood for the Blood God.
A squad of wizards.
Forest Wizards?
Nope.
Just Wizards.
Regular ass wizards.
Are you about to change what your list is?
That's right.
Well, So before you get too far on there, I want to pitch
the
my
world.
new D&D podcast to regular ass wizards.
All right, I'll be a part of that.
Oh my god.
I will.
For those of you who
be a
listen to
part
the
of
Flores
that one.
Lager, we're having a name change starting next week.
Regular ass wizards? Oh, we give it to you raw.
Oh god.
Oh,
No, we
you
don't.
don't.
No, we don't.
We're keeping
No,
Flores
see,
Lager.
it's regular ass wizards. It's a
I
acronym.
get
Raw.
it. It's terrible.
No, we believe in lube. No.
So I was gonna go.
What
in the
about if
direction
it's
of-
Monday night and it's Monday Night Raw?
Oh, well, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You
Now
should
we
just
have to
make it
change
like a little
everything with the
special
podcast.
It's regular ass wizards guest starring The Rock.
It should just be like a 5-minute
that
segment at the end of every Flores Lager episode.
WK or RAWK.
No, it's because it's Monday Night Raw. and
in
The
that
Rock
regular
is there.
ass wizard segment, they're doing things like going to the grocery store and paying
Yeah,
bills.
seriously, I'm not kidding. At the end of every Flores Lager episode, there should be like a 10-minute thing
Of regular
where
ass wizards.
Stu Dungeon Masters just regular ass wizards just doing everyday shit, like going to the grocery store or getting a cab or
I
cleaning
would
the
like to
bathroom.
select a shopping cart. All right, make an athletics check.
No, I'm using
was a-
Mage Hand.
that was
I'm
a-
using Mage Hand.
That was a 4. Yeah, you don't get a shopping cart. You get
There's
tangled
your
up
there's
in the
your
mess.
that's your Patreon for Flores Lager right there. It's your Patreon special.
Regular ass
Subscribers get
wizards.
regular ass wizard spots.
Sounds like a YouTube-y kind of thing. Like,
I would
I'd
like
like
to
just
check
keep
and
a
see
personal recorder in my
I mean,
my
you
pocket
have a wizard
and just
hat.
go to like Harmon's and
It's
just
a sex wizard
Do you have your
hat.
foodie
Yeah.
card? And be like, no, but let me conjure one from nothing.
No, it's like a guy comes up to you and is like, "Do you need any help, sir?" And you go, "Roll for initiative."
Scott putting that compressor to work today.
Yeah. Well, someone has to.
Just gonna smoke
What
some
are
of
we
this wood.
talking about?
We're talking about regional.
All right, yeah, double decimators, guys. It's cool.
He just
What are
immediately
you
falls
taking,
back
Mike?
into that. What were we talking about? Oh, that's right. I was talking about double decimators. One of them has Mara Jade on it.
The other has Rebel Captive, so both of them are stressing you.
It sucks so bad.
Yeah,
Jade is the worst.
I know.
You need the Imperial Y-Wing with the Kylo shuttle. That gives you a third stress mechanism.
Oh, right. Well, they're all 33 points, right, Caleb?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're still going to lose with that, even though you have like a 150 point list and everybody else has 100 points. You're still like, yep, I went 1 in 6.
No, I go 5 and 2, but I have shit MOV.
The worst MOV of anybody of the day. But
Yes.
you somehow made the cut.
Yeah. Well, I gave up all 110.
I mean, you're definitely never tabling anyone, so like the best you're looking at is half points on all 3 of those ships.
No.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
So, Stu, what would you have taken if you were playing in the regional?
Oh, this is how we got sidetracked.
Probably Palpaces.
Yeah.
That's what I was originally planning on doing a few weeks back.
You were going to show up with Quick Draw Invader, right?
No, probably
Juno Eclipse.
probably Quick Draw and Inky.
Yeah. That
That's
sounds
my
cool.
jam. And I don't own harpoon missiles, so I put rockets on.
Inky. Yeah, of course. That's cool.
Mike, what about you?
So we sort of mentioned it earlier.
The list you originated.
I did not originate, but did not copy after seeing it do well either.
Pretty sure you copied it.
Well, part of
Pretty
the
sure
reason,
that means you originated it, actually.
part of the reason
You didn't copy it, then where did it come from?
God damn it. Part of the reason I'm taking Fenrel, PS11 Poe, both those with VI up to 11, and Wedge
Hells
VI
yeah.
up to 11, is because I lost so many damn times to Caleb's PS11. aces.
That's right. You kept bringing like PS10 Han, and you were like, "This is gonna be great." And then I'm like, PS11 Quick
I
Draw
had
Vader, and you'd be
PS11
like,
on, and it
"Damn
wasn't
it!"
good enough. So I'm not getting to play as much as I used to. So I wanted PS11 everything, so I could just move last all the time, or at least have a chance for simultaneous fire. And I really liked using M969, and I was like, hey, he can go on Fen pretty cheap, so I can target lock Wedge, give him a modification while he's coordinating Poe, or the other way around.
Yep.
So that Fen can sort of support 2 ships at once with only using coordination.
And token strip.
and well, a token block, I guess.
Or yeah,
not-
token
not-
deny.
Yeah.
Man, and in our game when you played that, I had that gunboat in the perfect position, and then you freaking coordinated Poe a boost and then a Talon roll, and I was like, what? Stu was
Poe
there.
was like, oh, hey, I can take
Stu
on
was
a
like,
dreadnought
that's
myself.
amazing.
Hells yeah, you can.
It's like The Last Jedi.
I mean, the next Poe can just Talon roll into another Talon
Yeah,
roll.
when we get the real Poe fix, because it seems like we get a fix for him to match
All
his
he needs is an
piloting ability
illicit
in the
slot, so he can
movies.
take that cybernetic thing, right? Then
Yes.
he could do that.
So he
right?
can double Talon roll.
Well, I mean, the new
He's got
Poe.
to have advanced slam, or I mean,
Oh yeah,
slam.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, he
burnout
definitely
slam. Burnout.
slam.
Well, he gets 2 illicit slots, so he gets burnout slam and the cybernetic.
So yeah,
And
I'm
Hotshot
taking
Blaster.
this illegal Poe with me to regionals. With
He's
the-
also native PS10. Clearly,
You also can make an initiative check to see how many illicit slots Poe gets.
you roll a D. It's a D6 -1. How many illicit slots you get?
But yeah, I'm taking it, because Fenrir's cheap support for both ships. I like Wedge, and I feel like the training wheels astromech makes him sort of viable. If you ignore him, he can get up on you real quick and do some pain. And PS11 Advanced Optics Poe is just good.
Yeah, it is. Sounds like fun.
Hope I do well with it. I probably go something like, how many rounds are we doing?
6.
I probably go something like 1 and 6. I find a way to lose another round. But
Just an extra round, just in case.
There's
Well,
a special losers, bottom 8, and you somehow got knocked out of that bracket too.
He's 9th worst.
Hi, have you or someone you know been permanently handicapped by a jetty? If so, call me, Bob Goldstein, at Naboo 5 through Jetty. I'll get you the money you deserve fast. Bob Goldstein. Bob Goldstein. I have over 10 years experience and I'm ready to work for you.
At last, we will have our revenge.
You call now.
Hello, and welcome back to 3.2 Company. We had a commercial break there. Who was the commercial for?
head on, apply directly.
Yes, apply directly to
For
the forehead.
Squarespace, oddly enough.
So we're trying out a new recurring segment here at 3.2 Company. We don't have a good name for it yet.
Send in your name, and you can possibly win some swag that we'll come up with later.
This new segment called Steve Jones.
Sponsored by a listener every time.
We've really driven this one off the rails.
Yeah.
The whole point of this segment is just for us to have a little 5-minute round table about a random topic. Scott has the topic for today. None of us know what it is. It's probably going to set off some laughter and maybe yelling and hopefully not fighting.
No, actually, it might bring up some fighting. But so mine is because it's actually inspired because as we're recording this yesterday, Star Trek Discovery came back and is picked back up. So I just wanted to throw out like some Star Trek stuff and see what you guys are all about with Star Trek, like what your like things that stick out with Star Trek, like favorite series, favorite movie, that kind of stuff.
I really hate how they feel like they need to be political all of a sudden.
I mean, like, yeah, I know. It's been like since the 60s. They're
Keep
so
politics
political.
out of my entertainment. I just want to watch pew pews. I've actually been getting my Star Trek on.
Yeah.
I finished my first chronological viewing of all of TNG a few weeks ago and started on DS9.
Hells yeah.
I did that with my wife a few years back. It was really nice to watch TNG just straight through.
TNG is bar none my favorite. I've seen a bunch of disjointed episodes from DS9 and Voyager. I like both, but TNG is like my heart and soul.
DS9 gets a lot better if you can actually watch it in order.
Yeah, and I'm really liking it. Mm-hmm. I know Tater's been watching his first
I've
Star
been
Trek
working my way
forever.
through the original series, and
It's so worthless.
I love
No.
it. I love it.
I cannot handle the
so
original
much.
series at all.
I just want to watch Shatner double punch everybody. In
The axe handle over the head, like down on
if
somebody.
you were trying to damage someone, he's just like, what movement with my arms can I use to do the least amount of leverage and damage to somebody? And that's how he hits everybody.
Well, yeah, because they're stage fighting. He can't actually hurt somebody.
I know, that's also my favorite thing.
Can't
is you
damage
can
that
tell
porn suit.
He was a
No.
stage
They have to use that
fighter,
for boss.
or like a stage
actor, so like everything is way over.
Oh yeah,
done.
no, God, this is young Shatner too. So like, if you look at his guns, like he could actually hurt somebody if he was hitting them.
One of my favorite Comic-Con memories was actually with Eric. We went to the whatever the arena was called.
Oh, that was so fucking good.
We saw Mark Hamill. Was after Force Awakens had come out?
Yes.
Right before.
Yeah, it was right after it came
so
out.
We saw Mark Hamill, and then William Shatner came out after him, and everybody left after Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
which
they
I thought
were
was
all
dope.
wrong.
Yeah,
Shatner was so
Shatner was
good.
great. We got to move down to the lower level, and he talked just for an hour, and he was great. And going back to that stage fighting thing, he told a story about how he was set to start a big play production. I forget which play. Here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Because he used to act at Rose Wagner all the time. I forgot that.
Oh,
and
God.
then he got the
Yeah.
call. We need you for this pilot for this Star Trek thing, and then he never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why I couldn't hear anybody.
Oh, you're fine. Okay. Caleb, what about you in Star Trek?
I don't mind Star Trek. To be honest, my favorite series of Star Trek is Enterprise.
Weird.
Get out.
I know. Nobody likes it when I say that. I really...
The podcast is looking for a new member in case anybody is...
I just, for some reason, I thought Enterprise was really cool. Maybe it was
last
because...
season of Enterprise is really good.
Yeah, and I really like TNG a lot, watching it all the way straight through. Because when I was growing up, my father and I used to watch DS9 on and off. So I saw maybe, 30 episodes of DS9 over time. Mm-hmm. And I never had seen any Voyager, but my wife and I watched The Next Generation because she had grown up watching it with her dad. And I really liked that. But I still like Enterprise a little bit more.
And by the way, everybody listening should check out Star Trek Discovery. It's really good.
So
I'm waiting for it to finish, and then I'm going to get the app and pay for it and watch it all the way
I
through.
really hate CBS and the All Access thing and choosing Star Trek to be the one that they pilot their paywall thing for. It's working for them, obviously. They've already picked it up for season 2.
Yep.
I've seen the first 2 episodes of it, and I really love Star Trek Discovery so far.
It gets
Everybody I know
crazy.
that watches it loves it.
It's super good. They do a really good thing where Klingons speak Klingon and there's subtitles.
That's pretty cool.
Oh.
So, except when they're actually speaking human and then they don't sound right. They're
They
not
have like
good at it.
a sort of accent. That's pretty cool.
Klingon accent going on.
I'm probably going to have to watch this now. Thanks.
And this will get me roasted, but I like the JJ Star Trek too.
I like those two.
First
man,
I watch
Trek
them all
movie is
the time.
good, and so is that most recent
Star
one,
Trek Beyond,
is
when
really
they
good.
turn on the classics and they sound surf to kill all the bad guys, I was like in love.
Well, the sad thing is, like, the
Loved
third
it.
one was definitely the best of these new ones, but it box office tanked.
Yeah.
So it's probably
It
kind
was
of
in
the
a bad
death knell
summer,
of that
yeah.
series.
No, we're going to get the Tarantino
Which
Star
I
Trek.
do not
Is it
want to
related?
see.
No.
I think
I
it's
do.
separate.
I want to watch
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson just be like, get off my motherfucking bridge.
Star Trek
Tarantino.
Discovery says fuck.
Tarantino
You know-
is one of the most overrated directors ever.
I love Tarantino. It's so
You know,
violent and
Patrick
swears a lot.
Stewart is down to reprise his role as Picard in Tarantino's movie.
I'm on
Tarantino
board
should
now.
direct Mirror Universe next gen. And they have
Oh, where they all have goatees?
Beefy Picard.
yeah, and like nobody has sleeves, and they all have like they're just like jacked
Oh my
arms.
god! I just watched that episode like a week ago, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Not
It happens again in DS9.
Oh, does it?
Deep Space Nine is great. They have Deep Space Nine has a bunch of mirror episodes.
I will say that I did not like very many of the older movies. I did like the one with the whales.
Every
They do
what,
not
even
age
number
well.
one?
Yes,
is good.
even number one. So it's Wrath of Khan, Voyage Home, and
Undiscovered
Country.
Undiscovered Country, I thought was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I like the newer movies way better.
They're fun action movies.
yes.
I've happened.
And First Contact is terrific.
First Contact is the best
Contact's
overall
great.
movie.
Yes.
I like all of the TNG movies except for probably Insurrection and Nemesis.
Insurrection, Nemesis are bad.
That's half
Nemesis was weird.
Yeah. Generations is not very
I
good.
love Generations. It's got Malcolm McDowell in it.
Well, yeah, Malcolm McDowell chewing scenery is pretty
He's
terrific.
out chewing Shatner, which is
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and doesn't that one have that one has the new captain of the Enterprise is Ferris Bueller's friend?
I think
Cameron?
so. Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron is
Fry.
the new captain of the
Oh my
Enterprise
God.
in that one for a brief little bit.
This past weekend, Stars or one of those channels did kind of a Star Trek movie marathon, and I caught Wrath of Khan, part of the first one, Voyage Home. I saw The Undiscovered Country, Generations, First Contact. I had a sick baby all weekend, so I just kind of stayed at home and watching these. The Shatner ones, if you like the campiness,
I love camp.
and I do too. They're still good,
God,
but they
Wrath of
have
Khan.
not aged well at all.
Just Khan eating scenery too is so good.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
I know.
Star Trek 2.
I know.
Yep.
Just fucking
This will appeal to you, Eric. There is a cut of the first Star Trek movie, like Star Trek motion picture. There's a 40-minute cut version of it, so it's just 40 minutes, and it replaces all the music with Daft Punk. And it's really great. It's really
Guessing
great.
this is on YouTube.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Okay.
Like because that movie has like so many long sequences of just like
they were trying to
check
do
out this
2001.
ship. Yes, so that there's a bunch of 2001-ish like shots of Star Trek ships, and then put
extra dick in that.
yeah, and then put Daft Punk over that. It's
So
really great.
my plan is to like watch Star Trek sort of chronologically.
Okay.
Like after I finish the original series, I'm getting pretty close to that.
Does
I think I'm
DS9
almost
come
on season
before
3.
Voyager
Yes.
chronologically?
Well, so
they
the other way
overlap.
around. Yeah,
But DS9 starts before.
I
Voyager.
didn't
Okay.
mean timeline chronologically. I meant
Release.
release
Oh,
chronologically.
in the
right?
order the
Because
shows
I think
came out.
chronologically, Discovery comes after the original.
So I
series,
may
right?
No,
I
Discovery
may break this
actually
up to watch
occurs
Discovery.
Before.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years
Yeah.
before the Enterprise.
So-
I was thinking 10 years after.
No, so like they even reference in Discovery, like they're launching Constitution. They've started launching Constitution class ships. Like that's the hot new shit. And yeah, it's
Captain, check out this hot new
But,
ship.
that makes sense with the story.
I will say
intriguing.
I will say that I think it's pretty cool that they're willing to explore Star Trek without it having to be the Enterprise as the ship.
Yeah, that's
Like I think
always
that's
interesting.
that's one of the best things they did about doing Discovery.
going outside the Skywalkers.
I hate it so much. I wish they would start.
I'd be down for lots more Star Trek where it's different ships and
you
it's
should-
not always just the
I mean,
Enterprise
Caleb,
doing
I
stuff.
know you're all about books, but you should actually get into some Star Trek novels.
No, I can't. I got so many other things. To do.
There's a whole ongoing series that's the Titan, and it's Riker's ship after the next gen movies are done.
Does he have custom captain's chairs so he can climb into it?
God damn it! I was just gonna make that joke.
And it's made with like shag.
Yeah. No, actually, that ship's crazy because they have to make like a whole ton of refits because Riker insists on having the most diverse crew. And so it's just like, there's like.
That's his
80
excuse for getting weird chairs. That he can just climb over the back.
So there's like 80 different species on that ship. So they have to like refit living quarters because this one person lives in like the water.
It's like Caleb's
seek out
Starfighter in our
strange new
RPG.
chairs.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's that one lady from that one episode of Deep Space Nine who can't deal with any level of gravity.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, so that was our unhappy hour weird random segment.
Our trip to our Kessel Run or whatever.
Give us a better
Our trek
name
through
for
the
this
stars.
random discussion segment. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, guys.
Oh yeah, we probably should do that.
Oh man, I got changed to social media. Crap, I don't
Yep.
know the social medias.
Make like a ska band and wrap it
It's
up, wrap it
probably
up, wrap
like
it up.
3.2 company on everything.
Spell
Spell
out
out
the
the point.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you like our art director or our art stuff, art director is Heather Mahler. You can find her by Googling Heather Mahler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom, nailed it.
Big thanks to the Schwarz and Uncle B for the follows. Hey,
Uncle B.
Uncle B, send us an email and we'll get you some kind of swag. So, who wants to bet on who our regular listeners are that are actually these? I think the Schwarz, that's got to be like Jason Laub, right?
I don't know.
Uncle B, is that actually Sky? Is
That's
Sky
Uncle
just
Ben
Uncle B?
Swolo.
Oh, Ben Swolo.
God damn it.
Games of my soul.
Oh, I'm up next. So if you're into X-Wing podcasts and so forth, check out xwingpodcast.com. I didn't know it existed until right before we recorded this. But
Yeah.
It's a thing.
it's a thing where they get all the different podcasts up together in one place so that everybody can find them. You don't have to be going to 15 million different websites to
And
find them.
it's local podcasts all the way to international podcasts are found there, which is
So I'll be going there later tonight to see if I can find some more. The other website, if you're local here to Utah, is xwingutah.com. Right now, it just has our various events on it. Right now, it's limited to just regionals, but here pretty quick, it's going to have pretty much every tournament we're going to be running through 2018, at least the ones that I will be running. As well as we'll have information about an upcoming league and some other stuff. Probably have some tournament results pages coming up soon that will be pre-populated with the Listjuggler data, so that'll be cool. But keep an eye on xwingutah.com for stuff around here in Utah.
And hey, if you like us, check out the podcast that Brody, Scott, Eric, and I do. The Floor is Lager. It's a D&D podcast. We're about to wrap up our first arc. Our finale is actually this week. It'll already be out by the time you hear this. And Brody is going to become Daddy Times 2 very soon. So we're going to...
Which is why he's not here today, too, as well.
Yeah. Right. And rather than take a break, we're going to do probably some one-offs while we... give Brody some time to do some paternity leave. So
leave you hanging with the cliffhanger we present.
Yeah, we'll come back with our heroes from this current adventure after a little while.
That's perfect. Your one-offs will be with the random ass wizards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Regular ass wizards.
Yeah.
They've been raw, they've been regular, and they've been random, but they're all ass wizards.
What is an ass wizard?
God, that's a tagline right there.
In like thaumaturgy or like illusion. These ones specialize in
you know
ass.
what? Send us an email at thefloorislager.com. thefloorislager@gmail.com, and let us know what you think an ass wizard is.
He's a brown wizard for one.
Do they conjure asses?
Goddamn Radagast.
No, because that's a conjuration wizard.
And
this is an ass wizard.
If you like what we do, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/3.2 company. I know I keep saying stuff will be coming in the new year. Your support has enabled us to get some new recording equipment that we were putting in bind and had to get. So there hopefully will be some new updates coming to Patreon soon. But we had to fix our recording situation before we could go any farther with swag.
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
We had to make it so that there wasn't a constant beeping.
That was expensive.
It was.
I mean, it could have been expensive when I fell down and stabbed myself
with a butter knife.
Is it that one way up there?
No, that was one of the other ones.
All right, we're done. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheer it, nose.
So, Brody gave me a boost.
So we've been going an hour. Do you want to talk about the league now or save it?
It's a pretty good show, but I mean, if you're not into fantasy football,
We can save it if you want.
No, I mean...
Do you want me just... Are you wanting...
I thought you were talking about our draft episode next.
Oh, are you wanting me just to give the basics of what it's going to be? Because I can do that, and it'll only take a couple minutes. We might as well add it so people can know. Because we're going to start at the first part of February.
God damn it.
That was so good, Scott. That may be the best thing you've ever done. Because even I was like, we probably could do a whole episode about the league that they're going to run.
And Blue Apron. Yeah. Fuck you, Blue Apron. Get out of here.
Did you sign up for
it? Did you guys see how they've been shipping all their food at inadequate temperatures and people have been getting sick?
Damn it. That's unfortunate. I was thinking about them.
Did you hear about those raw milk moms in New Jersey?
Fuck that. My favorite,
the regular ass wizard moms.
Nope.
Yeah.
Raw
There's
milk
also
moms.
raw water, and
raw water is the funniest thing to me because
my favorite are all of the articles that have the picture from Oregon Trail that's like, you have died of dysentery.
Yeah, just go back to feudal England and tell all those peasants that they're drinking raw water.
I am so psyched for the return of natural selection.
No! People need to know not to spend $60 on Giardia water.
Really? Because Giardia de Loretta's is a pretty good.
Oh, jeez.
I thought he was going to say something about Giardia Water being a band.
It probably is.
It's a crust punk band.
have a long post outro segment on this episode.
It's gonna be unlistenable for Caleb's wife.
Yeah, look, we were doing really good. This whole episode, I'm thinking to myself over here, I was like, oh man, my wife is totally going to listen to this when Eric hasn't laughed one time. Now, we can listen to the whole thing, but when the post show comes out, I'm going to be like, sorry, sweetheart, you're not going to want to listen to
This
this
is like
part.
15 minutes of Eric laughing. It's pretty terrible.
One of the times when I was editing a 3.2 episode, my mom came into my room and was like, who's that lady laughing?
One more time.